Hi everyone, today we're going to be going over section 1.4 and it's going to be talking about angle measures. So we have quite a bit of vocab to go over first. The first one is a ray, and a ray is part of a line. It has an endpoint, so let's call this A, and then it points out with an arrow infinitely to one direction. So let's say we have another point B. The way that we're going to actually write this or name the ray would be like this, ray AB. When we have an angle, it is formed by two non-collinear rays. So we may have a ray here, and we may have a ray here, and that creates an angle. Naming an angle. So there's a few different ways to name an angle. Let's say we have this angle here, and we have points A, B, C. We can say that this is angle B. We can also say this is angle ABC. Or sometimes there'll be a tiny little number inside of here. So let's say that's a 2. We can call that angle 2. It's really important that when you are naming the angle and you're using all three endpoints, the vertex is always going to be the middle letter. So when you're looking at an angle, the vertex is going to be what connects your two rays. Our next word is an angle bisector. So let's say we have an angle over here, and let's call this one CDE. An angle bisector is going to divide your angle into two congruent angles. So it's going to cut through right in the middle. And congruent means that they're the same measure. So if I measured this and this happened to be 20 degrees, I know that this side is also going to be 20 degrees. So if you want to make a note of congruent, congruent just means equals. So we can say congruent means same measure or equal to. And the symbol for congruent is an equal sign with a little squiggly above it. So if something is congruent, think about two identical twins, the exact same shape, size, measure. That's what congruent means. Interior, it just refers to the inside of the angle, and exterior is going to be the outside of your angle. Okay, let's get to this first example. Name all angles that have B as a vertex. So let's look and see where B is. So we're trying to figure out which angles has B as a vertex. So I see angle ABG is one, which is right here. I can also go the other way. So I can say angle ABD. Remember, you can also name it with the number in there, so we can say angle 7. I can also look at an angle going this way. So I can say angle DB. I can use E or I can use F. And I can also go this way. Or I can say angle 5. Name the sides of angle 5. So let's look, angle 5 is right here. So we're naming the sides. Remember, the sides of an angle are rays. So I have ray BG, that's this way. And I also have ray BF, which is this way. Okay, last one says write another name for angle 6. So angle 6 is is right here because 6 is right in the middle there. So I can name it angle DBF. I could also just say angle B. Okay. Which angle has point X as a vertex? So here's point X. I have a few different answers here. I'm going to go with this one, angle RXN. We also see that these are angles, so I could say angle 1, angle 3, and angle 2. They all have X as a vertex. Which ray is a side of angle 3? So angle 3 is right here, because 3 is in the middle. So we need to name a ray. So we have two rays. We can say XN, or you could say XA. Last question, what is another name for angle 3? So instead of using the number, we can go ahead and use the points. Angle AXN. You could have also put the other order, NXA, as long as X is in the middle. Okay, we're going to talk really briefly about classifying angles. We have a right angle. Right angle is going to have 90-degree measurement, and you will see a small little box typically in the corner of a right angle. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. So this could be, let's say, this is 45. And then an obtuse angle is bigger than 90, but less than 180. So this could be, let's say, 110 degrees. So make sure you understand what is a right angle, what is an acute angle, and what is an obtuse angle. So we're going to use this protractor to help us measure angles. So this first question is, what is the measure of angle WYT? So I want to go ahead and outline W. Y is the vertex, T. So try to focus just on this highlighted angle. When you have a protractor, you have two sets of numbers. And it really depends on where your angle is laying. So since this is my flat end of my angle, 0 is the inside numbers. So I'm going to follow the inside numbers all the way until I hit my other ray. And it stops at 120 degrees. So I'm going to write the measurement of angle WYT equals 120 degrees. So now we need to think about, is that a right angle? Is it an acute angle, or is it obtuse? Since it is bigger than 90 degrees, this would be considered an obtuse angle. I'm going to erase this so we can do the next one. What is the measure of VYW? So here's VYW. So it looks like my angle is again laying on the same side. So 0 is on the inside here. I'm going to go until I see the other end, and it stops at 40. So since that is less than 90 degrees, that is going to be an acute angle. Let's go back to this protractor really quickly. let's say I asked you for the measurement of S, Y, V. Since my angle is laying on this side, 0 is on the outside. So now I'm following the outside numbers, and I will notice that it stops at 140. So just make sure you look at your protractor when you're measuring angles and you're knowing whether you should be following the inside numbers or the outside numbers. Okay, this next example. Wall stickers of standard shapes are often used to provide a stimulating environment for a young child's room. A 5-pointed star sticker is shown with vertices labeled. Find the measurement of angle GBH and the measurement of angle HCI if angle GBH is congruent to angle HCI. So just a reminder, that means congruent, which is going to mean same measurement. It tells us that angle GBH is 2x plus 5 and angle HCI is 3x minus 10. So since they tell us that the two angles are congruent, we can take these two equations and set them equal to each other. Anything that is congruent to something else means that they're going to be the exact same. So we're going to go ahead and solve for x, subtract 2x. So I have 5 equals x minus 10. Add 10 to both sides. So I know that 15 equals x. But that's not what it's asking us for. It's asking us to find the measurement of the two angles. So we're going to do what we did in our other set of notes when we were talking about midpoints, and we're going to substitute. So angle GBH is 2x plus 5. I'm going to take this x and I'm going to substitute it into my equation. 2 times 15 plus 5. So that tells me that the measurement is going to be 35 degrees. Now we're going to do the same thing for angle HCI. And notice that we got 35. Since the angles are congruent, they should be the exact same measurement. So your final answer is that both angles are 35 degrees. Okay, last example. We don't have a picture with this example, but it's the same idea. We are told that these two angles, angle BHC and DJE, are congruent. So remember, if they are congruent, they are the same measure and you can set them equal to each other. So we have our two equations. We're going to set them equal to each other. 4x plus 5 equals 3x plus 30. Same idea as the last one. We want to solve for x. So you want to subtract 3x. And we want to move the 5 to the other side. So we're going to subtract 5. And we get x equals 25. Now we still need to substitute. So angle BHC is 4x plus 5. So 4 times 25 plus 5. So angle BHC comes out to be 105 degrees. Since it is congruent to DJE, we should get the same answer. But I personally would go ahead and plug that in just to double check. So 3 times 25 plus 30, that indeed gives us 105 degrees. So that is going to be your final answer. Both angles measure to 105 degrees.